Good evening from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Friday, March the 19th market update. There were no economic events today, and there will be no economic events on Monday, so there's nothing to cover there. The dollar was up today. Gold, silver, copper, and oil were all down. Light sweet crude futures were down $1.52 to settle at $80.68 a barrel. Let's go over and take a look at the point figure chart for West Texas Intermediate crude. And I mean, we really haven't gone anywhere. I mean, we're right in this area. Crude will go on a sell signal if we print 79. We need to print one box lower than the previous column of O's. So if we print 79, we'll go on a sell signal. And of course, it could be a bear trap, and then we just turn right back up. But that's something to watch for. Let's go take a look at the dollar. UUP, we talked about it hit some resistance. Let me change this. We hit some resistance here, and then we broke out above it today. Good volume. MACD looks like it's trying to turn back up here a little bit, so we'll keep an eye on the dollar. Now the dollar does have resistance. If you go out, we were looking at 6 month daily. If you got to a year, it's got an overhead, some trend line here where it touched here, touch here. So it does have some resistance above it there. Went almost pretty much into it today. Let's take a look at the Dow. Dow closed down 37 points, coming way back off the lows to 741, excuse me. S&P closed down 5 points to 1,159. The Nasdaq closed down 16 points to 2,374, and the Russell closed down 7 points to 673. So the Dow held up the best by being down only 0.35%, and the Russell was the weakest again today, down 1.13%. The Russell has been on the biggest run, so it kind of led us up. So it'll probably, it can lead us down, but the market held up really well today. So. Now the volume did pick up as usual. It always does on the downside. Volume across the indices were above average, so selling was above average, but it's just typical on the sell side. Profit taking, and it was Friday, and not too surprised there. So we look at the Dow. We're holding, right. We closed at this 1074, so we're holding right here. Be very positive. You go sideways for a few days, or even pull back. First pull back to maybe 10,600. Next level of support would probably be around here, 10,500. Let's go look at the S&P. So the S&P, same way. We're expecting this level somewhere around here to hold. Now we do have a few days in a row here. Now typically sometimes we can do this. We'll have 2, 3. In this case it was more than that. But these little tops and it can't go anywhere. We can't have a pullback. So we pretty much fell here and started correcting. But we did. I guess I can delete this. We've hit this 1,170 target that I was talking about out of this inverted head and shoulders. I'm going to take that off of there. Don't need to really watch that anymore. We have reached it and we pulled back from it. Let's look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq, same way. We've got these, up in this area 2 or 3 times, 30 times this case here. So we'll see what we do. The MACDs, everything, is holding up pretty well, which is a good thing. Let's go over and take a look at the ES today, which is the E-mini for the S&P 500 futures. And that is right here. So this is the ES. It's the E-mini, the S&P 500 futures. It's a futures contract. And this is the 30-minute chart. You can see it the best. So late in the afternoon, about the last 30 minutes, you can see this candle here where we got down to 1,150 on the futures for the S&P 500 futures. They started buying. They come in and bought the dip big time. This big volume spike here. We did have volume. We had a lot of volume downside too, but more volume on buying. So they definitely bought the dip here, which is pretty bullish going into Monday. I think, I know the healthcare things on the agenda this weekend, but the market knows that already. So I don't know what will really happen there, or if the market is, if it'll be that much impact at this point. But the MACD's turning back up, so definitely buying way off the bottom, and like I said, very bullish. We gone a little higher in the futures. So that definitely a positive. Let's take a look at GLD. GLD is like, I don't know, it's had quite a bit of selling today. The dollar's really putting pressure on commodities, so I wouldn't be surprised we at least go back down to this level here. We could even get back down into this area. See, silver, they hit it pretty hard today. The SLV, the ETF, we do have this trend line support right around this 1650-ish or so area. So we watching that. But the MACD looks pretty good on silver. And copper is it's holding up pretty well too. I mean, it's just hanging around up here. We haven't really gone much of any. There was not any heavy selling. A lot of buying here on this copper, but no really selling. So copper looks like it's wanting to go up, not down. It's still holding its own really well. Let's go look at the sectors. So only one of the 16 sectors we followed finished in the green today. That was the healthcare index, and it was up a whole 0.02%. The oil service index was the weakest again today. It has been weak of late. They seem to be beating up a lot of the energy stocks quite a bit, and it was down to 2.74%. As you can see. Let's go take a look at the. Let's take a look at the gold point and figure. All right, so gold, we got a bullish price objective of this 1,300. Right now, we're in this area. We will go on a sell signal on gold if we print 1,090. So we print one box below the prior column of O's, but we do have this uptrend line support. So we'll watch gold. Gold, I expect gold, it'll probably hold this area here. The 1,080, 1,090. I don't think it'll go much lower than that, but it may surprise everybody, but I don't think it will. Silver has been on a sell signal, but we've just been hanging around this area in silver here. I mean, between this 15 and 18, whatever. So it really hasn't gone anywhere. And then copper. Copper price objective 444, and copper is again will go on a sell signal if we print the 328 right here, and we're right here right now, so it's got kind of a downtrend. We're kind of making lower highs right now, so we'll see. But so far it's holding this area here, so continue to monitor copper. Let's see. So there's, of course, there's no chart watch on Fridays because I'll put stocks together for the weekly watch list. I'll post that on Sunday evening. A lot of stocks held up really well though today, so there should be a lot of stocks to watch out there. It's pretty resilient, and plus it is the quarter. We're going into the end of the quarter. Typically, institutions, it's window dressing. They're going to be putting statements out. I think just like they came in today and defended that area, the 1,150 area on the futures. I expect them to do that at least, through this month. They don't want to look bad on their statements. So from the biggest, that the ones that are doing investing for you. So we'll see. I don't expect it to be too nasty. Now April might be a different story, but I expect us to hold up pretty well. Let's go look at the current market signals. Follow the point and figure chart for the Dow, Nasdaq, S&P. I was going to look at the McClellan too. I always do that. Look at the real. And there's really no change on. I mean, we didn't move that. McClellan is starting down just past zero here, getting oversold, but very little. I mean, basically almost flat on McClellan. So went to -1, but we definitely have worked off all the overbought that we had up here. So looks good. Like I said, there's really nothing to go over here. I mean, these charts, we didn't move all that much today. It just kind of felt like it in some stocks. They kind of beat up a little bit. But all right, that's it for today. Have a great weekend, and thanks for watching InvestSharp's Daily Market Analysis.